Hello there everyone, and welcome to your weekly MTA plan work video for the Queens Subways and Long Island Railroad for the weekend of Friday, May 17th, and lasting until Monday, May 20th. Without further ado, let's get started. How is our purple friend doing? May 18th through the 19th, 3:45 a.m. Saturday to 10 p.m. Sunday. Flushing bound 7 service will run express from Queensboro Plaza to Willard's Point because of track maintenance. How was the end this weekend? May 17th through the 20th, 9:45 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Uptown N trains will skip 49th Street because of electrical improvements. Do apologize to everyone, that will go away momentarily. May 18th through the 19th, 3:45 a.m. Saturday to 10 p.m. Sunday. Coney Island bound N trains will run express from Ditmars Boulevard to Queensboro Plaza because of station renewal. Once again with the partial M service. 17th through the 18th, 10 p.m. Friday to 1:30 a.m. Saturday. And May 18th through the 20th, 6 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. Saturday to Monday. Special weekend M service will run between Middle Village Metropolitan Avenue and 4750th Street Rockefeller Plaza and via the F to and from Lexington Avenue, 63rd Street, and via the Q to and from 2nd Avenue, 96th Street. Is the R affected in Queens? Well, we got a lot of headaches on the R this weekend, so let's get started. May 17th, 9:45 p.m. to 11:45 p.m. Friday. May 18th for the 19th, 6 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Uptown R trains will skip 49th Street because of electrical improvements. May 18th for the 19th, 5:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Our service will run to and from the Jamaica 179th Street F station because of signal improvements. May 17th, 9:45 p.m. to 11:45 p.m. Friday. May 18th for the 19th, 6 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Manhattan-bound R trains will skip 67th Avenue, 63rd Drive, Woodhaven Boulevard, Grand Avenue, and Elmhurst Avenue because of track replacement. May 18th for the 19th, 5:30 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Jamaica 179th Street bound R trains will skip 36th Street, Steinway Streets, 46th Street, Northern Boulevard, and 65th Street because of track maintenance. How was the E? Well, headache, I don't know if that's a good word, but let's read on. 17th for the 20th, 9:45 p.m. to 5 a.m. on Friday to Monday. Manhattan-bound E trains will skip 67th Avenue, 63rd Drive, Woodhaven Boulevard, Grand Avenue, and Elmhurst Avenue because of track maintenance. Same with the track maintenance for eastbound trains. This is also going to be taking place on the R. So, your eastbound Jamaica Center trains will skip 36th Street, Steinway Street, 46th Street, Northern Boulevard, and 65th Street. So again, there's track maintenance that's going to affect the Queens Boulevard line this weekend. So what does that mean for the F? Well, reason why I don't give the F slide animations this week, we have no service changes. I know, shock. That's why I had to put the 3.1 music in there, because I was like, wait a minute, I didn't get anything from the emails, I didn't get anything from the weekender, no plan work. So if possible, I would say, try to take the F this weekend. It's going to be running. On the A train. Looks like we have that Rockaway project again. Taking place on the 17th to the 20th, 11:30 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Shuttle buses will be replacing trains between Rockaway Boulevard and Far Rockaway Park because of track replacement. Rockaway Park shuttle will be rerouted. A's will run between 207th Street in Inwood, Manhattan, and to Lefferts Boulevard in Ozone Park. So the good news is, once again, just like last weekend, if you need to connect with the Q10 bus, that will be available for you all this weekend. Shuttles will run between Rockaway Park and Far Rockaway. Shuttle buses will run along 3 routes. Non-stop between Rockaway Boulevard and Far Rockaway via the Nassau Expressway. Local between Rockaway Boulevard and Rockaway Park via Cross Bay Boulevard. And local between Rockaway Boulevard and Howard Beach on the airport side. Transfer at Rockaway Boulevard, a shuttle bus, Far Rockaway shuttle bus, or Rockaway Park shuttle bus. How is the J? Unfortunately, another bad weekend on the J. 18th for the 19th, 3:45 a.m. Saturday to 10 p.m. Sunday. Free shuttle buses along with the E will be replacing J trains between Crescent Street in Brooklyn and Jamaica Center because of station rehabilitation. J service will run between Broad Street and Crescent Street. Free shuttle buses will be making all J stops between Crescent Street and 121st Street and will connect with the E at Jamaica Van Wyck. Transfer between trains and free shuttle buses at Jamaica Van Wyck E and on Crescent Street J. And moving on to the G, no work on the G. Once again with the L train, I'm not going to get into that because again, it's really repetitive. And lastly, overall this weekend, I will mention that there is no planned work on the Long Island Railroad this weekend. But of course, I have to talk to you all about the schedule changes taking place on Monday the 20th. So without further ado, let's go to the Long Island Railroad Service Changes website. So before we get to the Long Island Railroad Service Changes for this weekend, I want to talk to you all about an event in Bayside that's going to detour the Q13 and the Q31 on Sunday, which is May 19th. So this Sunday, there will be a food and music festival along Bell Boulevard. So let's read the information from Patch.com. The second Bell Boulevard Food and Music Festival will be taking place on May 19th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. It will take place on Bell Boulevard between 38th and 43rd Avenue as well as on 41st Avenue. Explore over 35 of Bayside's best restaurants for under $1 per restaurant. Online tickets for tastings are $30 for adults and $12 for children under 12. Not needed for toddlers or kids who won't indulge in the tasting. Food will require tickets. Cuisine options will include American, Italian, Chinese, Japanese, French, Spanish, Irish, Greek, Indian, Korean, Colombian, Cajun, Vietnamese, Japanese, Tex-Mex, and more. And I'll quickly mention, we'll check the QNS Twitter feed very quickly. I know they tweeted out some information about the event. Take a look at it right now. I know I saw something earlier. I could find it. So I saw something earlier about V Pizza, that they were going to offer a deal on that day. So let's just see. You know what? We'll bring this up too. Let's talk about this because it has a lot to do with the special food weekend. In fact, I'll tweet this right now. That's a very big deal. Congrats to VIP Pizza. That's a big deal for them. So we'll get to that article in just a second. There'll be new styles of food as well as traditional favorites. Some of the bars and pubs will feature signature cocktails and special beers. There will be free music, rock, jazz, country, American songbook, K-pop, to name a few. There'll also be activities, skee ball, mini golf, shuffleboard, and beach ball, volleyball in the middle of the street, which will be closed to vehicles. A new 8-inch wide spirograph built by Bayside High School Key Club in New York Marker Space will also make its debut in the event and will be available for play. Now, since again we do have the food festival, VIP Pizza on Bell Boulevard will be giving away stuff course, we'll be hosting live music as well. So, pretty much, this will be taking place the day before the festival on Saturday, May 18th, which again, I'm sure many of you know, if you're familiar with Queens like I am. VIP Pizza at 4302 Bell Boulevard will be hosting a day of giveaways, live music, and 60-cent slices on Saturday, May 18th. So that's tomorrow. So that's, here in Bayside, consider doing that, because it's going to be a very big event for the area. Alright, the pizzeria will be selling 60-cent regular or Sicilian slices and will be giving away free VI Pizza t-shirts for the first 60 customers to purchase any large pie starting at $1.30. Luigi D'Almosa said there will be live music, they'll be giving out some gifts, keychains, and other stuff. There are 3 owners, Luigi D'Almosa, Peter Agaros, and Francisco LIRR, currently own the pizzeria, which has been in the family since 2008. Prior to them, the Ordo brothers owned the shop in 1985 and were responsible for moving it to its landmark corner location. The pizzeria has been around since 1959. D'Almosa said they used to have the original owner's recipe for the signature pies. D'Almosa said that what whole sets VI apart from other pizzerias that they only sell pizzas and calzone. And of course, the Sicilian. You know, I've never been in there, but they are famous. They are definitely famous, so it's going to be a big deal for them this weekend. Because not only do you have the food festival, but now you have this. So, very big weekend for the village of Bayside this weekend. It's very important, even though I'm not going to be able to go out to Bayside this weekend, but good for the town. Gives them publicity. So anyhow, let's talk about the bus detour. So the detours will be taking place on the 19th Sunday during the Food and Music Festival from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. The Q13 and Q31 bus routes will be rerouted from Bell Boulevard between Northern Boulevard and 35th Avenue due to a local event. Buses will run via Corporal Kennedy Street, making corresponding stops in both directions. Reroute details. Q13 northbound will be going on Northern Boulevard. Then, it will be making a left on Corporal Kennedy Street by Staples, right on 35th Avenue, and then making a left onto Bell Boulevard, following its regular route to the Fort Totten Park. Q13 southbound, going to Flushing Main Street via Bell Boulevard, right on 35th Avenue, left on Corporal Kennedy Street, then making a right on Northern Boulevard, right on top of Staples, and then following its regular route. It will be the same thing along the Q31, really won't be impacted. Via Bell Boulevard, left on Northern, right on Corporal Kennedy, then following its regular route. Q31 southbound, Corporal Kennedy, left on Northern, right on Bell Boulevard, and then following its regular route. So, that's interesting how, of course, they have this all planned out, so that way the bus can just go by CVS and then make that right turn. So, that's all figured out. So, let's show you all now the bus route. And as you all know, the Q31 goes from Corporal Kennedy Street anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem for it to go back onto 32nd Avenue and then cut back to Francis Lewis Boulevard, so that shouldn't be an issue for those passengers. Now, if you are going to the festival, I would recommend that if you can go on Corporal Kennedy, and then you can go by, I would say, get off at 43rd Avenue, and then you can walk over to the area, and it's only about about 4 blocks, so shouldn't be that much of a complaint if you are going to the festival. I will also mention that if possible, you can take the Long Island Railroad. I would also recommend you can take the Q12 bus, you can take the N20G if you need to get to the festival as well. see, what was I going to say from the 31? Right, the 31 shouldn't be an issue. You know, if you're coming from the 31, and I'll mention this right now, again, you could just get off on Northern Boulevard. That's not the end of the world, because if you're coming on Corporal Kennedy, that shouldn't be the end of the world. You can just go south and then get to wherever you need to be by 35th and Corporal Kennedy, I guess. And also, I'll mention that if you want to take a break from the noise, I always recommend Croconan Park if you want to get some peace and quiet for a while, I guess. Excuse me there for a second. To apologize. Alright, so now we'll get to the Long Island Railroad segment. We have service changes taking place on Monday, May 20th, and that is, of course, for the timetables. This will include restoration of trains impacted by Amtrak. I said Atlantic by accident. I meant to say Amtrak track work, plus changes to Ronkonkoma branch service due to rail tie replacement. Starting this Monday, a temporary break in Amtrak's Penn Station state of good repair track work will allow the restoration of 10 LIRR trains that were diverted or canceled as a result of Amtrak's continuing work at Penn Station in Manhattan. Due to popular demand, 2 extra Penn Station-bound morning rush hour trains, which originate at Farmingdale at 5:12 a.m. and Freeport at 5:43 a.m., will continue to operate through September. In the evening, the 552 train from Long Island City to Port Jefferson will retain its stop at Huntington at 7:15. To accommodate rail tie replacement work on the Ronkonkoma branch starting on May 20th, some AM and PM peak trains, as well as the reverse peak trains, will depart earlier, while the new second track on the Ronkonkoma branch will include concrete ties. Older wooden ties on the original track will be replaced by concrete ties during the spring months. For complete timetables, we'll take a look at that in just a second. I will also mention to you all that for next weekend service changes video for Memorial Day, I will mention that I will bring up the Cannonball service to Montauk. And I'll also mention this right now, during the week, there's going to be a rant about the DOT and Trottenberg, because honestly, with next week coming up, the Friday of Memorial Day weekend is literally the worst day of the entire year to be traveling, and the city of New York didn't issue a gridlock alert day. They can issue gridlock alert days for the UN. Why can't they do it on Memorial Day weekend? Why? They should also make Monday a gridlock alert, but they don't want to do that. In fact, every Sunday night, what they should be doing after when New York City schools are over, issue a gridlock alert day. And I'll bring that up. Because honestly, I don't know why people just can't be encouraged to use mass transit. But we'll get into that next week. But for this week, we need to talk about the service changes for the Long Island Railroad schedule. So, following changes are going to be taking place on Monday. So, on the Babylon branch, temporary extra westbound train to Penn Station departing Freeport at 5:43, Baldwin at 5:46, Rockville Center at 5:49, and Jamaica at 6:06 a.m. will continue to operate through September. The 6:56 a.m. flyer from Wantaw, currently diverted to Atlantic Terminal in Brooklyn, will resume operating to Penn Station in Manhattan. 7:41 flyer from Merrick, currently terminating at Jamaica, will depart 3 minutes later at 7:44 and will resume operating to Manhattan. 8:25 flyer from Freeport, currently diverted to Atlantic Terminal, will resume operating to Penn Station. Temporary extra eastbound train to Freeport, another flyer departing Hunters Point at 7:02 p.m. will be removed from the schedule. On the Far Rockaway branch, 8:10 a.m. train from Far Rockaway to Penn Station will be restored to the schedule. 5:32 train from Penn to Far Rockaway, currently originating at 5:52, will resume operating from Penn. On the Hempstead branch, 5:38 train from Penn Station to Hempstead, currently departing from Atlantic Terminal in Brooklyn at 7:49, along with the 7:05 train from Penn to Hempstead, which was also departing Atlantic Terminal at 7:09. Both trains will be resuming operations from Penn Station in Manhattan. On the Long Beach branch, the 8:03 a.m. train from Long Beach, currently diverted to Atlantic Terminal, Brooklyn, with an add stop at Jamaica, will resume operating express service to Penn Station. Montauk branch, the Monday-only summer westbound train from Montauk will depart at 7:28 a.m. This departure is adjusted 28 minutes later in past years to accommodate South Fork commuter connection trains. And you know who to thank for that? Long Island Railroad President Philip Eng. So he must have directed the service change, I guess. 12:58 p.m. off-peak weekday train from Montauk to Spionk will depart 7 minutes earlier at 12:51 p.m. We have 4 important service changes on the Port Jefferson branch. 5:06 p.m. express train from Penn Station to Syosset, Cold Spring Harbor, and Huntington will be restored to the schedule. So that is excellent news for those people who, are annoyed and they just want direct service. That's good for them, because if they're transferring to the Port Jefferson branch in Huntington, that's a big deal for them. Alright, 5:29 train from Atlantic Terminal in Brooklyn to Huntington will stop on the south side platform at Syosset due to switch replacement work. 5:33 train from Penn to Hicksville will have no longer add stops at Syosset and Cold Spring Harbor. 5:52 train from Long Island City to Port Jefferson will continue to make an add stop in Huntington. That's very important. Wow, we're going to have to go to the Ronkonkoma branch last, because that's just a lot to read. So we'll do Port Washington and West Hempstead first. So, Port Washington branch, 5:50 train from Penn to Great Neck will be restored to the schedule. So that's good that they're adding an additional train back on the schedule. On the West Hempstead branch, the 7:34 a.m. train from West Hempstead to Penn Station will resume its former departure time of 7:36 a.m. Now, on to the Ronkonkoma branch, which is so much to read, but we'll get into it. The extra westbound peak train from Farmingdale, 5:12, Bethpage, 5:16, Hicksville at 5:22, Mineola at 5:30, Jamaica 5:46 will continue to operate to Penn Station through September. 6:56 a.m. peak train from Ronkonkoma will depart 5 minutes earlier at 6:51. 7:04 a.m. peak train from Ronkonkoma will depart 9 minutes earlier at 6:55. 7:19 train from Ronkonkoma will depart 2 minutes later at 7:21. 5:57 off-peak train from Ronkonkoma will depart 11 minutes earlier at 5:46. 6:36 off-peak train from Ronkonkoma due to Penn will depart 14 minutes earlier at 6:22 due to rail tie replacement work. So you have the rail tie replacement work. This will also be affecting eastbound trains as well. 6:07 off-peak train. This is an AM train from Penn to Ronkonkoma. That train will depart 24 minutes earlier at 5:43 a.m. 7:30 a.m. off-peak train from Ronkonkoma to Greenport will depart 15 minutes earlier at 7:15 a.m. 1:42 p.m. off-peak train from Penn will be removed from the schedule. Oh boy. That's not good. They're removing that train? Oh. That's a very important off-peak train. I have to say that. That train normally gets crowded. Get rid of that train. That's not good. That's not good. 454 peak train from Penn to Farmingdale will depart at 5:01. 5:01 train from Penn to Ronkonkoma will depart 7 minutes earlier at 4:54. Okay. So it looks like they are keeping that off-peak flyer to Hicksville, so that's good. From what I read to you all, it looks like that eastbound train from Penn to Hicksville, I forget what time it leaves, but I know that train very well. It goes direct to Hicksville, and it connects with the Port Jefferson train. So, it's very important they keep that train. You gotta have that extra flyer to Hicksville, because I've been saying to the railroad, where are all the flyers to Hicksville? Alright? Hicksville is still a busy station. I'm sorry. Sorry to all the customers in Billmore, Merrick, Wator, Tupia. You don't need the flyers. Sure, your trains get packed, but not as bad as the Ronkonkoma branch or the Huntington branch. Not along the main line. Who knows? Maybe with the third track. Maybe I'm complaining now. Maybe I shouldn't be, but hopefully with the third track, maybe in the next couple years we'll get more flyers to Hicksville. That's what I'm hoping for. But until then, we're stuck with this. Alright, so let's just review the schedules. They will be good until July 14th, so that's very important to bring that up. I want to talk to you all about the BTS concert in New Jersey this weekend, which will be taking place on Saturday, May 18th. But before we get to that, I need to talk to you all about the committee meeting. I know this is a very boring part of the video, but I have to address it because it's very important. The committees will be meeting this Monday, May 20th at 2 Broadway on the 20th floor. Of course, committee meetings are open to the public. Public speaking is, of course, encouraged, but limited to 2 minutes. You have to show up exactly, how many minutes? Right. Got to be there at least 15 minutes before schedule, but I'd say 30 minutes. You never know. You never know. So let's just go over the schedule, and I'm not looking forward to this month because guess what? Guess what? Metro North and Long Island Railroad committee meetings will be taking place at 9 a.m. And what's the audit meeting going to be about anyway? It's about the overtime, isn't it? I don't even know. Metro North and Long Island Railroad will be meeting at 9 a.m., so that's going to be a blab fest with Susan Metzner, unfortunately. Not looking forward to that. Which probably will mean New York City Transit will be starting later, most likely. Bridges and Tunnels will be meeting at noon. Finance will be at 12:45, and CPOC will be meeting at 2 p.m. The full board will be meeting on May 22nd. I would assume that the third week of the month for June, that would have to be on June 17th. Most likely will be the next time that committee meeting will be scheduled for the next time. And remember, they always take a break in August, so there'll be a meeting in June, a meeting in July, but no meeting in August due to recess, so they will be on August recess. Lastly, we'll get to the BTS event. So, let's get over to this right now. Let's pull up this website because I am literally curious about this website. So they literally give that out. So pretty much there will be rail and bus service to BTS concerts. So there will be 2 concerts on May 18th and 19th. Customers encouraged to prepare for post-concert wait times of up to 2 hours or more for rail service. So let's read this. So large crowds are going to be exiting the concerts following the event. Customers may be subject to wait times of 2 or more hours to board trains from Metlife Stadium to Secaucus. The rail line from Metlife Stadium has the operational capacity to move approximately 7,500 customers per hour. In advance of these events, customers are strongly advised to check the times of found train connections in Secaucus. Buses will provide transportation from Secaucus to Metlife Stadium prior to the 4:17 p.m. start of rail service. Buses will also supplement rail service from Metlife Stadium to Secaucus following the event. Customers may experience wait times boarding buses at Secaucus prior to the start of rail service. So, pretty much again, like WrestleMania, there's no direct service from Penn to Metlife Stadium. Customers must take trains from Penn and get off at Secaucus Junction and then transfer to special Meadowlands-bound trains. Departure boards at Penn Station in Manhattan will display Secaucus trains on trains, which is SEC. So if you're looking for SEC, that's where you need to go. Rail service will depart Secaucus Junction from Metlife Stadium beginning at 4:17 p.m. and every 8 to 16 minutes, with the last stadium-bound trains departing Secaucus at 8:17 p.m. Hoboken to Metlife Stadium. There are no direct trains from Hoboken to Metlife. Customers can take any Maine, Bergen County, Passaic Valley, or Port Jervis Line train to Secaucus and then transfer to Meadowlands-bound trains. Yeah, so it's pretty much is a big headache. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this press release in the description below. So it's more complicated for me to read into, but they are gonna offer buses. So if you can during the concert, try to leave early. I know it stinks, but trust me, you're gonna be bummed out. But keeping in mind, you don't want to be stuck at MetLife Stadium for 2 hours in the parking lot wondering how you're going to get home. And don't even think about trying Uber or Lyft, because the problem is, in order for the ride shares to get over there, the issue's going to be that they'll be stuck in traffic. Like, they won't even be able to pick you up. Like, they'll be stuck in the toll booths just trying to deal with the extra traffic, trying to merge on the Route 3. So, that even makes it worse. So, again, use travel smarts. Try to leave early from the concert if you can. Try to even get to MetLife early, because, again, it's a big concert and it's going to be hectic. So, that being all said, thank you all for watching. Until the next one, please take care.